Want to turn some scrap 2x4s into a glimmering candle holder? We'll show you how after this. I'm Kyle from Adventures at Home, and in this video we're going to show you how to take some scrap ends of 2x4s and turn them into a great looking candle holder. Pretty simple, and it's not going to take too long, and the end result looks pretty professional. Let's get to work. Materials needed for this project are pretty simple. All we're going to need is two 10-inch pieces of 2x4 and 3 candles. The first step is we're going to take these 2x4s and rip them down to 3 inches on the table saw. That way we get nice square edges. So we're going to take a 1/4 inch off on either side, and we should have a nice finished edge then on these boards. Now that we have our boards down to 3 inches apiece, we're just going to glue them together. Alright, now that the glue is dried, we can go ahead and mark for our holes that we're going to be drilling for the candles. So the first one is going to be 2 inches from the one end, and 2 inches from the other, and 5 inches in to find the center. Let's go drill some holes. Now that you got your 3 holes drilled, time for some sanding. Alright, the next step, we're going to cut the reveal grooves in the side of the block. We set the table saw blade at about a 22.5 inch angle. You're going to want to just adjust the depth kind of on the fly as you go. So what you're going to look for is, as you cut through these holes, you just want it to cut about a quarter of a way into the holes, and you'll get ample light showing through. So it's kind of adjust as you go, and kind of depending on if you want more light shining through or less light shining through. But so we're going to set the blade at a 22.5 inch angle. Then we're going to set the fence at 2 inches. Then we're going to slide it down to 1.5, 1 inch, and 1/2 inch. We're going to do that on both sides, and we should have the reveals cut. And then we can move on to the next step. So the next step, to get that nice burnt finish, we're going to take the torch and we're just going to burn the wood. Once again, you can kind of do it as you like. As you go, you can kind of tell. I'm going to do just a light burn over the top to show you, and then I'm going to darken it, and you can kind of choose which you like better. And I'm not going to finish this at all except to put a clear coat on after. So I'm going to get the finish with the burning exactly how I want it. All right, we'll just let that cool for a second. One of the things you probably did notice is that I didn't sand it at all after I cut the grooves in with the table saw. And I do this for a reason. I get the sanding to where I want before I cut the grooves, and then I cut them, and then I leave it unsanded. And you can see the real sharp edges that the table saw leaves. They will burn a lot faster than the thicker wood around it, and you get that real charred look on the edges, which I think gives it a unique, almost, it really details the grooves that you cut in the wood. You can kind of see that on the other side too. So, and as you can see too, as I was going along, you don't always have to get it this dark. This is just kind of the look that I wanted for this one, but you can leave it lighter too, and it'll still definitely bring out the grains, especially when you put a clear coat on. All right, now we're just gonna hit it with a clear coat. I like using the matte clear, and I'll just spray it on. You can wipe it on, spray it. I like using the spray just for this project because I can get it in the grooves. Normally I would just use a wipe-on polyurethane, but this works very well for this project. Alright, after a couple more clear coats and some time to dry, all that's left to do is to drop in your candles. There you have it. With a couple of scraps of 2x4s and minimal effort, you've got a great looking candle holder to display and show off. Until next time, I'm Kyle, helping you create your own adventure at home.